Hey, it is a new week, and it's Monday, so that means I'm starting my week of my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday videos for talking about my journey through fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. Oh, sorry about that. So anyway, tonight, I've got a good topic for you. We had a busy weekend. We had our family, our whole family was here for the weekend, and that means about 15 people, and it was amazing. It was wonderful, and it's tough to get all those people under one roof at one time, right, Julia, who's just tuned in right now, who is my daughter-in-law. Anyway, it was wonderful. We canoed, or I'm sorry, we kayaked, we swam here, we sat around the fire, just kind of talked and stuff. So anyway, it was a great weekend. So I hope you guys had a great weekend too. So anyway, for those of you who have not ever seen these videos, you might be on for the first time. Maybe the topic caught your eye, right? My journey through fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. And I have been doing these Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I think I keep getting it kind of wrong. I think maybe this is 11 weeks. Yeah, I think I've got them written down here. I think there's 30 so far. Yeah, so I think this is the 11th week of doing those. And I'm covering a whole range of topics. Each video tends to be about 15 minutes long, and I'm going through my journey a bit, but more giving tips on the things that help me to break free from this. I struggled for 25 years. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Jay. From the time I was 11 years old until I was in my late 30s. And Stacy, how are you tonight? You guys, thank you for tuning in. Anyways, yeah, from the time I was 11 until I was in my later 30s. And I said too, like, I really never knew, even before 11 years old, I really never knew a time without fear. I didn't know what it was like to live without fear. I had always had fear of some sort. Fear of everything, fear of something happening to my parents, fear of getting sick, fear of my parents getting sick, fear of my neighbors getting sick, fear of you name it, just fears. When my parents went away on vacation, what's going to happen to them? They're not going to come back. They're not, just pelted with fears. And I don't know the exact origins, but I think some has to do with the fact that I was adopted, brought over here when I was almost 3. I think there were things that surrounded that, things that happened, when I came here and stuff. But, it's not so much the origin of it that we really want to concentrate on. We can spend a lifetime trying to figure out where the fear came from. Why did it come? How come I'm feeling like this? Why did I have a panic attack, right? Because it wasn't a panic attack until I was 11, almost 12, when I had my first full-blown panic attack, which was probably the most frightening thing that I've ever been through. Absolutely not knowing what that was, being so frightened. I was at a family Christmas party, just didn't know what to do, just struggled through it until we got home, and just laid there that night with my hand on my heart, because I'm like, I need to know I'm still alive. Like, I need to know that my heart's still beating, because I didn't want to go to sleep, because I'm like, I'm gonna die. I had no idea. It was just the most awful thing. And then didn't tell my parents until I was 16. Didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say, and I was so afraid of what it could be, because I began to think in my mind, what could this be? Like, what is this? Am I really sick? Am I going crazy? Do I have something wrong with my brain? What is it? So, so I kind of struggled in silence for a long time. So, that's kind of a background of where I was. So I've been there. I've been through debilitating panic attacks. I've been there. I've been there when I thought I was going to get scraped off the floor. I've been there when I said I cannot go. I won't make it through this day. I've been there to say I can't live like this any longer. I get it. I know what they feel like. I totally understand. To say what more can I do? I don't know what else to do, but gosh, I want to break free. I want to live a life of freedom, but I don't know what else to do. I'd exhausted everything. So, that's kind of my story in a nutshell. 25 years of compiling this. Still lived my life though, right? You learn to cope with it. You learn to endure it. You learn to put up with it. You learn little tricks to make it like you're, like normal people wouldn't really know. Very, very, very many people were surprised when they found out, that this was the case. But, it wasn't, I don't think it was so much, I was ashamed of it. Really, I chose not to talk about it a lot. I chose not to say much about it. I chose to just kind of endure it as I kept trying to find that magic pill, if you will, that was going to allow me to break free. And that's the great thing about my story, is I can tell you this is how I feel. I can tell you, or this is how I felt. I can tell you, I get it. I can tell you, I have been through the worst of the worst panic attacks. I can tell you that I get what it feels like to want to run out of a room. I've run out of rooms. I get what it feels like to say, I got to go out of the mall. I got to leave. I got to leave right now. I got to go home. I get it. I totally understand it. But I can also say, not only do I understand it, and you can go, oh, at least somebody understands, but I've also been free now for a little over 20 years. No medication, nothing like that. And you can too. And that's the main crux of my message. That's the main things that I've gone through, the main topics that I've gone through. How did it happen? How did you break free? What are the things that I need to know? What are some things that I need to know? And that's what I've been doing for 11 weeks, right? And today's no different. So today, the topic that I chose was resist. I listened to a lot of messages, and today I listened to a message about resist. I've said it before, and I'll say it again a lot of times throughout the day. I'm like, man, I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about tonight, but God always comes through with something. It's like I hear it. I don't know, different things, come my way. Maybe my husband even says something. Maybe my son said something today that was like, oh, you know what? That's what I'm going to talk about and incorporate, into this journey, okay? Journey of freedom. I say my journey, through anxiety. I've said that before, my journey through it. And if you're going through something, if you're saying, well, I'm going through so much, well, if you're going through it, that means you come out on the other side, right? You don't want to stay stuck in, I'm stuck in this. This is just the way it has to be. This is how I have to live. No, you're going through it. You have to keep saying that. I'm going through this journey of anxiety and panic. You say that. You say it out loud. I'm going through it, and I'm coming out on the other side victorious. Okay? So I heard a message, like I said, about resisting, okay? And there is a passage in the Bible, in the book of James, that says, draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Resist the enemy, and he will flee from you. Resist the enemy, and he will flee from you. And that's, I think I've said this before, that's one of the main sort of things that got us into the spiral of this unknowingly. Most of us had no clue, but you feel that first panic attack, right? This comes, and for most people, it hits them and it blindsides them. Sometimes you can go back and you can go, well, it might be situational, this or that was happening or whatever, but a lot of times it's like, man, I've got no idea, I've got no clue why this hit me. I was driving, or I was in the movie theater, or I was, wherever, and all of a sudden this wave hits me, right? Just boom. And our first response oftentimes is panic, right? Basically when they're calling it a panic attack, basically it's that anxiety. It's that anxiety that comes in at first, right? But what do we do when we feel that? Because we have no clue what that is, we panic, right? And that's what begins to create the cycle. We panic. I did. Most people do. Like, what was that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is right now. Maybe I'm going to die. Maybe I'm going to, I don't know. Maybe I can't breathe. Maybe I'm having a heart attack. I don't know. I know it sends many thousands and thousands and thousands of people into the emergency room just to have the diagnosis of saying, I think you're having a panic attack. I think it's anxiety, right? Because we feel that, and it's real. It's not all in your head, it's real. It's a real thing, and we panic. What was it? When is it going to happen again? I know they told me it's just anxiety, but now it's going to happen again. And that's where the cycle starts, right? That's what keeps that snowball rolling and rolling and rolling. So now you're anticipating it, and you're fearing it, and you're sometimes waking up thinking, am I going to have another panic attack today? I'm going to go here today. What if it happens there? And so now not only have you got that you've had this happen, but anticipating it happen, you almost come to expect it, right? And you're fearing it. I did that 2 times ago, or not 2 times ago, maybe like 3 or 4 times ago. I'm looking right now, like, don't fear the fear. So not only have we got this panic and this anxiety and this fear that's in us, but we're fearing the fear, right? We're fearing what's going to happen when that happens again. Maybe if it happens again, maybe that's going to be the big one. Maybe that's going to be the one that who knows? Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm, that's typically what our response is, right? And that keeps the fear going. That keeps the chemicals in the brain, I hate to use that word, imbalance, but that's what keeps the imbalances going. You got to listen to that. That's a way early one. It's a way early one. It's that causes it. You aren't born imbalanced, right? But it causes that wave of anxiety to keep going and going, Once you bring yourself back down again, that's what causes things to balance out again, okay? So that's what keeps it going, because we don't resist. We're not resisting it at that first time. We're not resisting it. We're fearing the fear. We're panicking, and there's no guilt or condemnation here. I'm not, but I'm just merely telling you that is what keeps that ball rolling. So resisting. So now we've got to begin to resist it. Now we've got to begin to resist it. Now we've got to begin to speak to it. Now you got to go back. You got to go back and watch some of these other ones that I've done that will give you steps of resisting it, resisting that fear, speaking to that fear, not fearing the fear, not panicking because of because of maybe the wave of anxiety that's coming, okay? So to resist, what does that mean? It means to withstand. I'm reading the reading a definition, okay? To combat, right? To weather, to be resistant. What happens when they say, when you say you get sick, like you go, oh my goodness, I got the flu again. A lot of times, what do people say? My resistance was low, right? Hey, Gloria. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? I got sick again because my resistance was low, right? That's something that people say. Whatever, maybe you've been stressed, maybe you've been this, and right, your immune system is low, so you get sicker. Well, it's the same thing with fear and anxiety, and when our resistance is low, the enemy knows when to come in there. I've talked about that. You got to go back and listen. There's God, right, and there's an enemy that's wants to keep you in fear, that wants to keep you panicking, that wants to keep you from what God wants to do in and through you, right? So when we're not resisting, that fear too, that he knows the little door he can get into, he knows. So it's like, if you feel that wave of fear and you grip and you go, oh, I knew this was going to happen today. I knew it. I knew fear was going to happen. I knew I was going to be panicky. I knew I was going to have anxiety today. I just knew it, or you go to a certain place and you've been fearing it and you get there and here it comes and you go, I knew this would happen. I was thinking about it all morning. Well, you're opening that door. You're just opening that door a crack, right? And when that resistance is low, then the door gets flung wide open again, and here comes that cycle again. So how do you resist? Go back and listen to some of these other ones. You resist by renewing your mind. You resist by taking the thoughts that you know are fearful, the thoughts that you know are not true, the thoughts that you know are not serving you, the thoughts that you know are keeping that snowball of anxiety going. You take those thoughts, and it's the Bible tells you to take them captive. You capture those thoughts, right? And then you speak to them. Man, you can listen to many of my videos, and you're going to hear, you speak to them, and you speak to them out loud. That's how you begin to resist. Basically, you speak the opposite of what you're feeling. If we continue to speak what we're feeling, we're going to keep having the same thing happening over and over and over again. All of this is what God has taught me. It's his battle plan. And he knows best, because he knows us and he created us, and he knows best. He knows what it takes for us to get rid of that fear. He knows what it takes for us. And it's resisting the enemy, resisting those thoughts, resisting the lies. Most everything that we're thinking of when we're in the fear and we're in panic attacks and we're in that mode. In the 25 years that I struggled with that, I probably couldn't even count the lies that came into my mind that I believed. Hey Karen, how are you? All lies, all untruths that you just begin to believe. And they go over and over. You rehearse them over and over again. And when you really think about it, you go, no, this isn't how I'm supposed to be thinking. This isn't how God would want me to think. This is doing nothing to help me, right? No, you combat it. You rise above your feelings and you resist. You resist. No, I'm not going to be fearful about that. No, I am not going to think that way. I'm not going to talk that way again. I am going to speak life and not death. I am going to speak against the lies that I am hearing, and I'm going to resist. And that passage in James goes on to say, resist steadfast. Resist steadfast. Okay? Is it easy? No. No. It isn't always easy. A lot of what I tell you is not easy, okay? But the things that I learned, the more I did them and did them and did them and did them and did them again and again and again and again, and renewed my mind and spoke and talked and did the opposite of what I was feeling again and again, it brought lasting freedom. Lasting freedom. Typically things that are going to be lasting take some time and they take some work. You didn't learn these things overnight. I had been in that mode for 25 years. There was a lot in there that had to be renewed. There was a lot in there that had to get out. There was a lot of resisting that had to go on before freedom was there. Okay? So, yeah. So I hope that helps. To think about that, to think of resisting. The more you resist, the more you go against, that you resist, so that your resistance gets built up, or your emotional immunity, your mind, your mind immunity continues to get built up and built up. You'll see amazing changes happen. You really, really will. So, because when you begin to resist, just like the Bible passage says, resist the enemy, resist the lies that you're being told. You know, you don't have some dreaded disease. You don't have to live with this forever. You don't have to have it just because your aunt and your mom and your great-grandmother had it. That doesn't mean it's in your bloodline. That doesn't mean, boom, that can be changed, okay? Just because the doctor said that you have to have it. He said you have a chemical imbalance and you got to live with it. No, you can resist all of that. You can be free. There's nothing impossible to those who believe. Nothing. I've said this before and I'll say it a million times. And believe this. Really believe this. You have everything in you already to be set free. It's all there. It's all there. And the potential of that just needs to be unlocked and renewed, because you've been believing lies for so long. Really. So anyway, that's my message tonight. And last week I said, I think Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I told you guys I'm doing a YouTube channel, and I am doing it. I promise I'm doing it. This week I am going to get all the videos on there. You go, oh, I heard you say that last week. I will. I am. I'm going to get all the videos onto a YouTube channel. You know, at this point, today was video number 31. And they're all going to be there, and you can see all the topics, and you can choose which ones you want to listen to, which ones you want to watch. You can tell people about it. If you know people, like they go, well, I'm not on Facebook, say, hey, she's got a YouTube channel. You can just get on YouTube and watch these videos. So yeah, and again, I want to thank all of you who like these videos, who share these videos, who have told people about these videos, who have watched these videos. It's such a blessing to me. It's 25 years ago, 30 years ago, if you would have told me that this was something that was going to happen, I wouldn't have believed it. I always had it in my mind that someday I would break free somehow, some way, but never did I think that it would come to this, where I can take what was so bad, what the enemy meant for evil, and turn around and now use it for good to help many others break free. It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing, and I'm so grateful to be able to do that. So anyways, have a good night, you guys, and I will be back on Wednesday with another topic that I have no idea what it will be at this point. So, and I'll get on. Hopefully on Wednesday I can let you know the YouTube channel is done. I'm really hoping that's going to happen by that time. So anyways, again, have a great night. Thank you so much for watching.